Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I am going to be showing you a new and improved video of my Robert Jordan book collection. Now, about a year ago I shot this video, and it stayed up on a channel for a bit. Then for some reason, YouTube deleted it. Don't know why. They never tell you. Just sometimes there's just a big X through it and it's gone and nobody can ever watch it again. They don't even give you an explanation. Don't know what I said or did on that video to irritate people, but it got yeeted right out of there. So I decided to shoot another Robert Jordan video with all my book collection. So I did that the other day. I filmed it. I put it up on YouTube. And then I realized I forgot some of the most important books in the collection. So then I had to yeet that video right off of YouTube. So now let's see if we can get this right without getting canceled by either me or powers beyond me. So let's get right to it. I have got the entire Wheel of Time collection in 4 different versions, and we're going to go over those last, but I've got every Wheel of Time novel in audible.com. I've got every Wheel of Time novel in mass market paperback, every Wheel of Time novel in hardcover, and every Wheel of Time novel in the modern trade paperback versions. Not only that, but I have got the original Robert Jordan Conan novels right here in mass market paperback. I've got the Conan omnibuses, and I've got his Revolutionary War trilogy. For those of you that didn't know, he wrote a Revolutionary War trilogy. So let's get started at the beginning of the man's career, and let's just talk about the Revolutionary War trilogy. Now, I did read and review the first book on the channel. It was Fallon Blood. This is called the Fallon trilogy. As you can see, the publisher decided to publish 2 volumes in this design and then a volume in this design, making none of them match. And so we've got this mismatched, cluster bleep of a set. But, what can you do? These are pretty cool. I read and reviewed this on the channel. It's actually a really good Revolutionary War story. Kind of a little bit of, got some late 1970s, early 1980s erotica in it. So these are kind of, if you want to read Robert Jordan, rated NC-17, pick up these because they are kind of a little bit like Gone with the Windy, North and Southie by John Jakes, but with a lot more sex scenes than you would expect from Robert Jordan. But if you do want to watch my review of this, just type in the Fallon Blood and my last name Durfee into YouTube, and that review will show up. Okay, now let's get to some of my favorite things that Robert Jordan has done, and that is these 7 Conan books. Yes, Robert Jordan cut his teeth writing Conan books. The first one he wrote, Conan the Conqueror. I think these were all in the early 1980s. And then he wrote Conan the Destroyer. I think that's Conan the... I gotta take on my glasses here, folks. Conan the Defender. Conan the Defender. Conan the Unconquered. Man, they're not staying up. They're not staying on the shelf. I will edit out the part where I just picked that book up, and we'll carry on from here. Conan the Triumphant with a great Boris Vallejo cover. And then we've got Conan the Magnificent with another spectacular Boris Vallejo cover. Conan the Destroyer. That's another nice cover. And last but not least, Conan the Victorious. So those were Robert Jordan's Conan novels. You can see his name is right there. And then, now these are pretty rare. You're going to have You'll never find mint condition copies of these anywhere on the internet. Pretty rare to find. However, if you want the set, Tor Books has put these nice omnibus editions of those books together in these 2 volumes. So if you want to get these are pretty easy to get. So you've got those 2. Now, let us get to The Wheel of Time, which is why you came here. I already talked about the audible.com versions that I've got. You're just going to have to believe me that I've got those. Now let's talk about the mass market paperbacks, the hardcovers, and then these new modern versions with new cover art. What I'm going to do in this video, which is what I did in the first video I shot of that, is I'm going to compare the cover art of the old versions to the new versions, and I'm going to tell you which cover I like best, because you know I love graphic design and cover illustration. So let's just take a close look here at the entire mass market paperback collection. You know, we got the little mass markets here. As you can see, they're smaller than the hardcovers, smaller than the trade paperbacks. But I got these because these are my reading copies. I've read every one of these about 4 times each, even though you can't tell because they all still look in mint condition. You know I keep my books looking nice. Here are my hardcover copies. Now these I have bought and purchased one at a time when they were published. So I bought this back in 1989 or 1990 when it first came out. Probably the first week it was out, I read this. And then I've been buying each subsequent volume as they came out, 1 per year, throughout the 90s. And then Robert Jordan kind of slowed down a little bit. And some of these later ones, he was taking 2 or 3 years to write. And then, of course, he passed away. And Brandon Sanderson finished the last 3 here, which we will take a look at. Because I do not have any of the books signed by Robert Jordan, but I do have some of them signed by Brandon Sanderson. And then we're going to take a look at the modern trade paperback versions that have these modern cover designs. And we're going to... So let's do that now. Let's just go ahead and do that right now. Let's talk about the covers. Let's start with probably my least favorite Robert Jordan novel, which is New Spring. We've got the original Darrell K. Sweet cover, which is pretty cool. I like these. And then we've got this cover, and I'm going to have to read the names of the artists on the back. This art was done by Jason Chan. So we'll take a look at those together. Which one do you like more? I like the old-fashioned look of the Darrell K. Sweet. I just love the graphic. I love the old-time graphic design of this. As opposed to the modern design. I'll be honest. I'm going to lean towards these more often than not. But however, I kind of really like that illustration. I really do. So I think I'm going to give, for New Spring, a tie. That tie between the covers. So we got a tie right there. Now let's do The Eye of the World. The Eye of the World. We have again a Darrell K. Sweet classic. This is just a classic painting. You know what this is as soon as you look at it. This one was done by David Grove, a cover by David Grove. I think that's a really magnificent painting. I mean, let me look at that, see if it's coming in focus. Yeah, it's a really great painting by David Grove of a dude hanging off the mast of a ship. This one, however, gives us the epic feel of the Wheel of Time because it's also got this nice wrap around here where we can see all the other characters coming up along the spine. And then on the inside, it also has this wonderful illustration here. So I'm going to give the nod to this one as opposed to this one. Now let's do The Great Hunt. Again, the original Daryl K. Sweet cover, and a wonderful, wonderful painting by Keke Kataki. Okay, this is spelled K. There's no key. There's no letter in the alphabet that's key. Kekakotaki Keki Kotaki is the cover artist of The Great Hunt. And that, my friends, is a dope cover. This one is good too. There's another, the Daryl K. Sweet. I love the Daryl K. Sweet. I love the font. But honestly, I'm going to give my preference to this one. Pretty much painted the same scene. The horn, blowing the horn with the Trollocs in the background. But I like the modern one here. So we've had one Thai, one Daryl Sweet, and one modern. I'm not going to keep track of any of these. We're 3 books in, and I will lose track right now. This is, again, the Daryl K. Sweet, The Dragon Reborn. This is let's see who did this. Donato Giancola. Now, again, where I love this painting, and it's a great painting by one of the great fantasy artists, Donato Giancola, I still just like the dynamic colors of this cover more. This is a scene of a person sitting on a rock. Very well executed. This is a more dynamic scene of holding up the flaming sword with the wraparound stuff and the people on the back. It's just better. The Great Hunt, I like the old-timey one. Gotta blast through these, folks. Shadow Rising, book number 4. Okay, the Daryl Sweet cover, Gathered Around the Wagon, and then this cover, which is just spectacular as fuck. Sam Weber, one of the great illustrators, Sam Weber. This is cool. I like this one better. I just like the feel of it, the color of it, the texture of it. This, just dudes gathered around a wagon. Ain't really floating my boat, but this one floats my boat. Okay, now we're to Fires of Heaven. Oh, this is... Okay. So we got some guys wandering through... It's very colorful. And I love the font. I love the old 80s font. This one was done by Dan Dos Santos. And it's very, very electric. This one's fairly static. So I'm going to give a nod to the modern cover this time with the Don Dos Santos as opposed to the Daryl Sweet. Somebody out there keep track of these and then put in the comments which one wins, the old or the new. So let's do Lord of Chaos. Lord of Chaos. This painting, the modern painting, was done by Gregory Manchez, who's a great illustrator. He's done a lot of the Louis L'Amour book covers, actually. And again, the Daryl K. Sweet. Well, it's almost like the same thing. The same kind of painting. They're almost in the same pose. This guy's wearing a pirate shirt, a puffy shirt, a Jerry Seinfeld puffy shirt. But I love the colors of it. I gotta be honest, I'm none too fond of either of these. So we'll give this one a tie too, as both relatively, yeah. Okay, next on the list is Crown of Swords. The Crown of Swords. Who did this one? Oh, this is a nice painting by Tyler Jacobson. That's a great painting. I like that. Again, a Daryl K. Sweet. Again, I think this one is, though, more colorful. It's quite static. But I do love the font. I'll just say, I love the graphic design of the old ones way better than the graphic design of the new ones. So the graphic design goes to the actual illustration, though. I think I like this one better. Again, kind of static and weird. All right, where are we at now? Well, we got the Path of Daggers. Got to bust through these, folks. Path of Daggers. This one is done by Chris Ron. Chris Ron, another Daryl Sweet one. I'm giving it to, this is a no-brainer. I absolutely love this painting. So I'm giving it to Daryl Sweet and the old one. That one's okay, but I actually really think this is one of the better Wheel of Time covers. Moving on to Winter's Heart. This cover was done by Scott Fisher, and this one, of course, Daryl Sweet. Again, wow. I'm going to go with a tie for I'm not really jazzed about either one. And I wasn't really jazzed about that book, to be honest with you. Now we've got Crossroads of Twilight with a illustration, Greg Ruth, and of course this one. Okay, this one's very moody and dark looking. This one is again much more colorful. It's got the wraparound. I'm honestly kind of torn because I think the characters on this look a little weird. I'm going to give this one another tie again for just sort of meh. Okay, we've got the Knife of Dreams. Oh, this is a really beautiful cover on it. And, oh, I already know who's winning. Michael Comark is the artist. Michael Comark did this spectacular painting. This painting is probably one of the worst that Daryl K. Sweet has put on a Robert Jordan book, Wheel of Time book. I don't even know what the going on there. This is good. I go with this one. Faux Show. Now we get into the Brandon Sanderson volumes. And again, got a weird ass cover. Todd Lockwood's version. And then the Daryl Sweet version. This is just bizarre. I mean, I love Daryl K. Sweet's painting style and just how colorful he is. But once in a while, I mean, my God, if the back was the front, I would love this. But they've got this weird ass right here. I don't even know. The Todd Lockwood wins hands down. Now I will show you that this is, I do not have any Robert Jordan signed copies, but I do have several signed by Brandon Sanderson to me. Now let's do second to last. This one is Sam Rakeland. No, Raymond. This is Raymond Swanland and Robert Jordan. Let's see, the Daryl K. Sweet. Robert Swanland. Very, very dynamic. Again, I like the colors. I like the font. I am going to give this a tie because I actually really like both. I actually really like both of those. And then, last but certainly not least, oh, by the way, this one was signed also to me. I might as well show you. Before we get to the final. That one was signed to me also. Last but not least, we have Memory of Light. We have the Michael Whelan version and the even bigger Michael Whelan version. So this, well, first of all, let's eliminate this one out of the running because it's just not as dope as I mean, this one is completely a wraparound, all the way around cover that is just magnificent. And it is painted by the very best fantasy science fiction illustrator the world has ever seen, Michael Whelan. So this one wins over this one, even though it's the same painter. This one's just bigger and better. And this wins overall. This is the best cover on a Robert Jordan book out of all of these. And it ain't even a close competition. So anyway, that is my entire Robert Jordan book collection. Hope you liked this video. For those of you that were counting the cover ranking, let me know who won. Did I like more old ones or more new ones, or did they tie? Let me know. And then drop a comment about what you think of the collection, what you think of your own collections. If your collection's better, let me know. Say, dude, your collection is crap compared to mine. That's fine. It might be. And thanks for watching.